Hey everybody, I'm Brad.
And I'm Christa.
With the Big Family Homestead, and we are going to continue our journey on our whole mishmash. How we got this thing going, this homesteadiness, home prep steadiness.
So get ready for part 2.
Okay, so if you have not watched part 1, this is not going to make much sense.
No, not really.
So you got to go back and watch part 1. But we're going to continue our story, our homestead journey, where we're at, and maybe even a little bit of where we think we're going to go. Ooh. So.
That should be part 3.
We will do part 2. Or
Let's
another
draw
video.
this out as long as... No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So, we are at the point now that we have an offer on our home that we have accepted. And we don't have a place to go.
Nope.
No place, no clue. No way to, we didn't even really pick a region. We just knew we needed property.
We needed, it honestly didn't matter. Of course, I kept saying, not north.
She did.
I don't want to go north.
She did.
It's cold. Okay.
Well, just keep going.
Don't ever tell God no.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Very bad. Very, very, very
It's like when you pray for patience. He doesn't just like give you patience. He puts things in your life that you will learn patience.
Exactly.
Don't pray for patience.
Don't.
Sorry. You can pray for everyone. So we don't have a place to go. And since we're in a non-conventional money-making, we had just started this Thrive Life thing and YouTube, and those were our main sources of income. I mean, I still do video production, but that's not nearly as often as it would be comfortable.
Right.
That's my background, is video production, media production, but with all the chaos that was going on, I didn't really have a lot of time to grow that business.
Right.
So we're just scouring, and then we get a phone call, and we're driving to Michigan to look at a place. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Some believers had given us a call. Friends that we trusted said, "Hey, check this out." And so there's this church that needs a music guy. And I'm a music guy.
I fit that description.
Yeah, and we'll get this house. There's this house, and so we get up there, and it wasn't the right thing.
No, it was not.
People involved were great.
The church was fantastic.
Yeah.
The house needed a lot of work.
Needed demolishing.
It needed to be torn down. Yeah, it went from the outside of the house.
Oh, a good 8 inches drop.
Yeah. So
we just didn't feel.
The property was gorgeous.
Yeah, the property was gorgeous. We just didn't feel a peace about it. Everybody involved, they were awesome there. Don't hear anything except gratitude.
Right.
It just was in your spirit, when you just don't feel like this is not the right thing. And so we come back and we're like, all right, now what are we going to do? And lo and behold, we get a call or a contact from a subscriber to the channel.
Right.
And the subscriber says, "Hey, I just happen to have a farm, 30 acres and a house, and I don't really need to be living in it right now."
Right. I don't need this place. And we bought it because we wanted to move there, but it's not going to work out for our family.
So we hightail it north.
Thanks.
To Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Cheesy beers and all kinds of stuff. And
cheesy beers?
Oh yeah. You didn't know that? When you cross the state line, if you don't have enough cheese and beer, they issue them to you, or else you're not allowed to come in. Sausage. Yes. So we get up here and we're like, this
is awesome.
Is too good to be true.
Yes, this place is amazing.
The house is big enough for our family because there's what they call a basement.
What is that?
We didn't have one in Ohio.
No, we didn't.
And we were stacked. Everything was just piled high.
It was nuts. You know, we took half the garage in the other house for a bedroom and a storeroom, and
it was small.
So now we have the space to kind of spread out and
like a virus or a plague. So we got space.
So you have some space.
So we're looking around. There's a big barn that was built way early century. There's a machine shed. This place is 30 acres, and we're going...
And it's all pasture land. It's not heavily wooded. It's all pasture.
We have one tree.
No, there's 3.
I don't count that one as a tree.
Oh, yeah, it's more of a bush.
Shrub.
It is
Shrubbery. Bring me a shrubbery. Anyway, so we work out a deal with the folks, and it was just amazingly put together by God.
Yeah.
There were things that needed to get completed, and we knew that going in. And there's still things that need to get completed.
Yep.
But we started work on the house. We jumped over a big chunk. I keep doing that. Moving here.
Moving here was kind of
Well, keep in mind that when those people looked at the house, we had an offer the next day. How long was it from when we closed? It was not long.
a month.
So we got to pack up our entire house. Mind you, 9 people.
Well,
8 at the time.
8 people. Our oldest son David is in the Army, so.
Yeah.
But we just still had to put his stuff in the truck too.
Yeah, that was fun. Packing up his junk.
No.
But so it was a blazing fast timeline.
It's crazy.
And the hardest thing was dealing with the animals.
Yes. However, we did get rid of the animal. Well, no, not got rid of. We got rid of we sold the cow and the chickens to a family in northeastern Ohio.
And it was also a God thing.
It was also a God thing. He was going through chemotherapy and
Needed raw milk.
Needed a cow that he didn't have to train to milk. And Harriet was that cow. She was a great milker. She would stand to milk. Better than our
the one we have now.
better than our current cow. Macy's a challenge.
So everything was just get rid of it or get it packed, and then we ended up selling the house, and we worked out the deal with the folks, the place that we're at here, and we packed everything up into a big Ryder truck, a van, and a trailer.
We got Penske.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Penske,
Yeah.
that's right. And so all the vehicles had trailers behind them.
Oh, it was
3 drivers.
Such a caravan. Oh my gosh.
3 drivers, 3 trailers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all our stuff.
Wait, you didn't have a trailer, did you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had the red trailer. No.
Yeah, because we had to.
No.
Yes, ma'am. Because they didn't want us to. They allow you to have a trailer, but I had talked to the lady at Penske.
We didn't have a third trailer. We only had the stock trailer and the red trailer.
Whatever.
Oh no, he's right. I'm wrong.
Whoa, wait. Ooh.
Yeah.
What did
I
you
forgot.
just? No, hold on.
Jonathan didn't pull a trailer.
I just want to make sure that. Did you say?
We didn't have 3
No,
trailers.
the other thing.
We still didn't have.
No, the other thing.
You're right.
Oh.
And I'm wrong.
Doesn't happen often.
Whatever.
Glad I got it on tape.
But we didn't have 3 trailers. We only still had the 2.
We had to sell one.
Jonathan didn't pull one.
We had to sell one.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I am a little right.
Minor marital thing there happens. So if that's as bad as it gets, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So we start moving. We brought our goats.
Well, we had a friend of ours because we didn't want to sell our goats.
Because they were in milk for Grace.
They were in milk for Grace, but then we weren't able to milk them. A wonderful friend, Donna Terry, said, "Come and bring your goats here, and you can keep them here until as long as you need." And
this is before we moved.
Before we moved, so we were able to clear out the space in the backyard and clean it up, and
yeah, that was a challenge too, because we had made that house into a mini homestead. So there's animal paddocks and there's little this and garden that and all your fencing.
We had to clean it all out.
We had to tear it all out. And so that was a challenge, but thanks to Donna Terry, we were able to get it done. And so then, moving day. Moving day was the day we closed.
Yeah, we went and closed while the kids were finishing up putting stuff in the cars and
chaos, controlled chaos. And so now we're driving, and I quickly realized, because it's raining like a Dickens there.
Yeah, it was.
And I realized very quickly that the Penske truck was not loaded properly. It was loaded very, very high. Mm-hmm. A lot of weight high up.
And you hadn't driven a truck like that.
Well, I have driven plenty of trucks like that, but just not anything recently.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, you got to keep your weight low. Mm-hmm. So you can put light things up high, but you got to keep your weight low, because when they get top heavy, they start swaying. Yeah. And it's very dangerous.
It's nerve-wracking for the whole ride.
It was white knuckle driving. Mm-hmm. And then I'm driving through Cincinnati. People just shoom. Mm-hmm. Of course, it had to be rush hour.
Of course.
Yeah. And so we're driving, and we stopped the first night, and boy, oh boy, that was a relief.
Yeah.
We got about halfway, and then the next day we drive, and when we finally get close to the house, the first time we got off that main road,
it seemed like it took forever.
Turn.
Oh, yeah. It was insane, because there's these big long curves, and he's going really slow, and
50, 45. Yeah. I just made my mind up. I don't care if it takes a week to get here, we're going slow. Because it was scary.
Well, the problem was, there's no gas stations between the highway and the house.
Let's just say I puckered more than once. It was intense, and I don't mean like the Indians. Okay, so
we're here.
We're here.
We finally get here.
And then the work begins.
Yeah.
The work begins.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
got to unload the animals. That's the first thing. Get the animals out of the trailer, because they've been in there for 3 days. No, not 3 days, 2 days. But still.
But yeah, they had to stay in there.
They had to stay in there. We couldn't let them out at the hotel.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Chasing a goat through the parking lot.
No.
Come back! I must milketh thee. I got my ready. I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
So, challenges that when we first got here. I will say, this is the funniest dang thing. The YouTube channel at this point had gotten big enough where we have some notoriety, where people that are like self-reliant people, we started meeting people.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
There was a friend, who's now a friend. At the time, he was a stranger.
Right.
We were driving, and
we've been here, what, a week?
Yeah, not long at all.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing, we're pulling in. We had been in town, and we were pulling in the van, and we're getting out, grabbing groceries, and some guy in a truck pulls up, and he kind of stops halfway down the driveway, and he gets out, and he's waving. He goes, "I'm not weird or anything. I just know your YouTube channel."
Welcome to Wisconsin.
And it was a strange thing.
It was very strange, and I'm thinking, we know this person.
Serial killer much?
Yeah.
But for real, we've become good friends with them, and more people. It was Sam's.
Our next door neighbor, he came over 2 or 3 days after we got here. Said, "I'll come and cut your grass for you." And
yeah, it was overgrown big time.
Oh, it was 3 feet high,
and he just came over and cut the grass.
Yeah.
No big deal. But then we were at Sam's Club in Wausau, and we're buying a trailer because we need a trailer to move all our stuff around.
And there was a gal that came up, and
she goes, taps Claire on the shoulder.
Her toilet paper had fallen off the bottom of her cart, and Claire, being the sweet girl she is, went over to pick it up. She's like, "Oh, thank you, Claire." And Claire's, What? She's like, "Well, I know your channel." Huh?
Yeah. It's been a strange thing.
And so we chatted for a while. Super nice
lady. Really nice lady.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And meeting people at church is weird when they'll go, "I watch your channel."
Yeah, it was really weird.
So it's been fun though, and we've developed a lot of really great relationships. Challenges though, we've got a lot of work ahead getting these fields ready. We've been spending so much money in hay.
Yeah, we're hoping to have hay fields next year that we won't have to buy hay. We spent a lot of money on hay this year.
Yeah, but by the same token, we've also now got, let's take a little bit of an account. We've got how many cows that are ours? We're caring for how many?
We have 2.
Okay, we have 2.
We are caring for Macy, Stewie.
There's 5.
Sorry.
There's 5.
There's
but
5.
Macy might be pregnant. We
Yep.
had her AI'd. You probably saw that in a previous video. But then we've got 25 chickens?
26 chickens, three roosters, and 23 hens.
Just started laying. And
Thankfully.
Oh my gosh. And I got to figure out a different situation to heat their room because the eggs will come out, and if you don't get them right away, it's negative 18.
They
They
freeze
freeze.
solid within a
And
few
then it's
hours.
just good for pig food. But
Which they love those.
oh, I know.
All right, and we have 5 pigs. 3 of them are ours, which a couple of them will go to the butcher here next month, I think.
And I gotta tell you what, if you do not know the joy of driving a tractor, we got a Ford 8N tractor from 1948.
Wait, what do you mean we? You
have
got
driven.
my dream tractor. I've driven it once.
That's by choice.
Well, that's because it's
That's totally choice. You are misleading the
because I'm
peeps.
busy doing other things.
Yeah.
And it's actually better. You're better at it.
Well,
And
and
driving it and cutting the fields like
there are safety concerns. Those older
Yeah.
tractors do not have the safety protocols and
Right.
implementations that the newer ones do.
right.
And so driving that is my guilty pleasure.
It is. He
Totally
loves
is.
it. Yeah. So he won't let me ride it.
That's not true. It's just you don't.
I know.
And I'm like, oh goody,
It's
I get to
the
drive
tractor I've been
again.
dreaming of having for years.
I'm dreaming of a Ford 8N.
There's
So-
our duet there for the
Yeah, and the barn has a lot of challenges. Trying to, we had to do a lot of stuff to get it to where the roof isn't going to crash in,
or our animals aren't going to freeze to death.
which we've done. And we're good to go. And
So far, it's been the coldest it's ever been.
Oh,
For us,
yesterday.
It was negative 21 yesterday morning. That's the coldest weather I've ever been in.
me too. And we're learning a lot, and I hope that you guys are enjoying what we're showing because we're not here to lift us up like we are the expert in any of these things. We're learning as we go.
Yeah, we are not know-it-alls by any means.
Well, and so many times, like little North Carolina Homestead, I get so much good information from his comments.
Yeah.
And there's so many of you out there, 1600 megahertz. A lot of you guys give us feedback that we implement like right away because we're like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you research it, it's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Why didn't we do it that way?
Right.
And so we don't view this channel as just like, here, watch us. We view it as community. Because we've gotten to know a lot of you. You know, and it's been a really fun journey. And I think that now we're honestly at a new stepping off point where we have a basic understanding of how to get stuff done.
Yep.
And now it's like, all right, time to hit the gas.
Yeah.
Time to have gas. I have gas.
Oh, dear Lord.
So anyway, you can expect to see many, many more of our adventures unless God says no, and then we'll change the plan.
Right. That's our life. That's okay.
Yeah. And let's see. I don't know. I think that's all we really wanted to say. In another video, we're going to tell you about some of our future plans. And that'll actually help us out too because you guys can say, well, have you thought of this? Alrighty. I'm Brad.
And I'm Krista.
You guys have an amazing year.